Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, Shonda Henry here, a.k.a. SistaSense. I am back. You are back. We are back. As a matter of fact, inside the mid-year reset experience. Outside of our virtual retreat, what I wanted to do is create a space for you to work on your second half of the year as part of our 4-week series, Accountability Circle. So hopefully you had an opportunity to do one thing, which is hang out with us inside the 3-day virtual retreat. Whether you did or not, no worries, because what I wanted to, again, do was to continue that experience with you over the course of several weeks. So making sure that we can check in, we can go through a lot of what we did this weekend, piece by piece, is the agenda. So basically helping you get clear, get a plan, and get organized so that you can work on that R factor. Number one, your revenue, your reach, and your routines, right? In order for you to generate revenue, that revenue is dependent upon what you do. The routines that you put in place into your business on an ongoing basis so that you can reach people as well as reach your business growth goals. And then, of course, the R factor when it comes to you being able to reconnect to whatever visions you created for yourself. And if life got you off track, creating a space for you to get back on track so that you can refresh and rev up your efforts. So hopefully you are in the community over at firestarters.sistasense.com. If you are a newbie, introduce yourself. If you're an OG, let us know what you've been up to. And, of course, any questions for me, feel free to email sistasense@gmail.com, or when you're on the website, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. So always want to just kind of quickly recap our objective when it comes to this mid-year reset conversation. Now, as I said, this is an accountability circle. So my goal is, hey, I see y'all coming on in. Welcome, welcome. My goal is to simply create a space for you to just make sure you're staying on task, right? So here are a few things to consider as I create a space for us to check up and for you to check in, okay? First is the LOL challenge, list of lists. I love them. Hopefully you do too. The list of lists challenge. One of the things that we did was go over several lists that can help you get clear and also stay on task because life is going to life, right? We've got several more months to go. So to keep you clear, a couple of lists that I've identified for you here. Number one, your TP3. So I said to you, I want you to be able to consistently work on your top priority 3 tasks, as you see here, right? So hopefully you've done this and you've identified your bigger TP3s, the top priority tasks that you want for the year overall, or every quarter. Maybe you have quarterly goals that you want to set for yourselves. Those are the bigger ones, right? And one of the things that I always say is that success is the sum totals of the little things that you do day in and day out. So when it comes to the TP3, your responsibility is to figure out, well, what are my smaller right now TP3s that matter to me? So look at these right here. Today, this week, this month, your top priority task. Now, it could be that your TP3 is one of each. You've got one thing that is a top priority for you to complete today, like I have to submit some of my work for an opportunity that I've got going on next month. And I've been like, okay, this needs to happen. It's like that thing that's in the back of your mind. Today, it has to be done today, right? Something that is one thing or up to 3 things that are priorities for you, right? So that specifically when it comes to today, this week, this month, okay? So either you have one for each of those buckets or 3, right? And then, as I mentioned before, when we look at the overarching goal of the year, your TP3 for the year, for the final 6 months. When you think about your TP3, maybe you have goals every single quarter. Some of you have membership communities. Maybe you want to reach a certain number of members by the end of every quarter. Those are some things that I want you to be able to process for yourself, right? Now, one of the reasons why it was important for us to, or for me to have this conversation with you is because I know that, and I say this all the time, life is going to life. And sometimes, even with the best made plans, we don't move forward because there's a difference between ideas and implementation. I do clarity strategy sessions with you all, and we sit down and we map out a whole idea and then come back 2 weeks later. What did you do? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be a situation where outside of those bigger overarching goals, you can identify smaller things that are going to get you one step closer to that next best step you're trying to get to. And sometimes those things are nagging at you, but you're not getting them. You're not getting them done the way you're supposed to, right? So we want to look at those overarching goals and identify at least one thing that you say, I'm going to do this today, LaShonda, even if it takes me an hour or two, right? I have to say, Tasha reached out to me, and she said to me yesterday we did in the mastermind 30 and 30, right? So we worked on creating 30 reels in 30 minutes, and I gave you guys 10 templates to use, right? So then last night, Tasha was like, it took me a little bit more than 30 minutes, but I got it done. I got it done, Lasanda, right? That was a priority project for her to knock out that day, okay? So I got some stuff that I'm knocking out today that I need to submit by end of day, and I want you to identify your TP3s because there's a lot of stuff that y'all say you want to do and you're going to do, but you don't get to because you're not breaking them down into small actionable items that you actually complete and check off. Now, by the way, I always say, send me a progress report. When was it the last time? I'm calling you out. I can't say the name because I don't know who this relates to. You know if it relates to you, okay? Whether you listen live or in the replay, I'm going to call you out today. And I'm going to say, hey, when was the last time that you sent me a progress report? I say, this is not for me, though. To be honest with you, when you sit down and write a progress report, it's more so for you because it gives you a reason to legitimately sit down and assess what you want, what you've done, and what needs to happen next. Right? Right? When we think about sometimes when we check in with people and we go, ooh, I don't want to check in with her because I ain't been doing what I know I need to do. You know what you need to do. You're just not doing what you're supposed to. Send that progress report, right? I'm guilty. I've not sent you a progress report, but I will. Okay, whoever. Smile and love to whoever just posted that in the chat. I'm going to look out for it. Right? Identify your top priority task for today, even if it's just one thing. If you can identify 3 things, one for today, one for this week, and one for this month, okay? Now, when it comes to those LOL, love it lists, I said love it lists, list of lists, because I always talk about the love it list as well, but that's for marketing purposes. When it comes to your progress, your profit, and your productivity, I gave you LOL, a list of lists. The TP3 was one of them. Another one, knocked out lists. Oh, hey, Adonia. Hey, girl. I see you. Another one is the knockout list, right? One of the things that we strategically did throughout the virtual retreat was to create a space where you had 30-minute integrals to work on micro projects. Some of them, we switched it up in the 30-minute integrals, and then other times, you just kept working on the thing that you did previously so that you could build on what you've already built. Some of those times, we needed 30. Sometimes we needed 5. Sometimes we needed 10, okay? I want you outside of the TP3 to create a space, could be today, could be sometime this week, to work on your knockout list. Some short, simple things that you can knock out in a few minutes, under an hour, okay? Then we talked about those bucket lists. Those bucket lists. Being able to identify the bigger things that you want to accomplish. I shared with you the goal of creating a 100 list and including the things that you did so far for the first 5 months of the year and the things that you want to accomplish in the remaining 7 months of the year. So you've got something to tether yourself to. As we get older, we get brain fog, we get distracted. What was I just talking about? What did I say? You know, sometimes the fire is firing. We're like, ooh, I want to do this, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and excitement. And then things happen, energy gets depleted, and it's like, what? What was I excited about again? Or was that really what I said I wanted to do? Because I don't know. I don't think I want to do that no more. Right? You need things that you can kind of tether yourself to when you need your past self to guide your future self to the finish line. Sometimes it's not our spouse. Sometimes it is not our friends. It's not our family. It's not our coworkers. Sometimes we got to dig deep and find that inspiration from our past self who said, girl, you better do what you said you were going to do. You better stand on business and do what you said you were going to do. I'm checking up on you. How does your past self check up on you? You look at that list of things that you said you was going to do, and just like the progress report conversation, you get real with you. What do I need to check off next? Right? So your bucket list, your list of 100 things you want to accomplish throughout the year, including on that list things that you've done thus far, and of course your work with me list. Could be individuals you aspire to work with, whether that you want them on your team, you want them to be able to create stuff for you. People go, listen, my bucket list is that, LaShonda, you build my website for me. I can come out and work with you at one of your events. I've had several clients come out and say, listen, this was my birthday gift to myself. Who do you want to work with? Customers, coaches, partners, influencers. Make that list. The things that you seek are seeking you. And one of the big things that I wanted to talk about this year with you is manifestation. Last year when we did the mid-year retreat, which, by the way, we had the 3 days. We didn't have this 4-week. I wanted to do something slightly different this year. And it feels different. I feel like every year is going to feel different. I did give y'all access to last year if you want to check in with that one as well. Last year we focused on beliefs and breakthroughs. This year it's about manifestation. And for me, a lot of it is creating the space to attract and be ready for what you want. So when you make note of your list and you think it, write it, and be about it, work towards it, things start to fall into the places that you want them to, right? So hopefully that means something to you, Power Moves. Every day of our 3 days, there was a specific topic. Power Moves, Propel, and Profit Plan. So if you either missed our trainings or you didn't get the opportunity to watch them in their entirety, you can break up what we did over the next couple of weeks, where this week you find some time to work on and work through the Power Move breakthrough sessions that I gave you. Then next week, you could go and do some Propel. Then the week after that, you can go and do some now, of course, you can mix and match however you like to, but the fact that we're going to be checking in for 4 weeks gives you an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper into each of these, go back and re-listen again, because trust me, everything is online, and you can watch at any time that you want to, right? Being able to go back to the replays. A quick update, recap of what we did on Power Moves. I'm going to share that with you. I want you to, more importantly, identify which of these keywords you're working on, because accountability means you either did it or you like, ooh, thanks for reminding me. I need to go do that, right? So we're going to talk about power moves in a second, but hold on one quick second. Let me check the chat. Blaming you for my bouncing all over. What did I do? I'll be working on something, then you come up with something else. I'm going to act right, though, I promise. I'm starting to see the finish line on this first project. I love it. I love it. The finish line is in sight. It's in sight. But you're going to act right. You're going to act right. Acting right means you focus not on what I say. Don't have that FOMO. Don't have that. You focus on the things that are in alignment with your assignment, right? We talked about the acronym of retreat, A being doing the things in alignment with your assignment, right? How do we do that? Well, power moves are really about the action steps you're going to take. Number one, to get ready to wrap up this 6 months and then have a plan for the next, right? So in power moves, we talked about your monthly money. How much do you need to make every month? And where's that money going to come from? Did you set that up yet? If not, you need to work on that. Number one. Number two, we talked about digital side hustles, being able to have something that's going to help you get the money that you want on a monthly basis, right? I shared several digital side hustles. Do you want to tap into a side hustle? If you don't want to, you don't have to, but these are some of the key action moves, power moves that we broke down, and that you can then go back to the replays and jump from one section to the other, depending upon the thing that you feel is in alignment with what you're trying to accomplish. We talked about various digital marketing trends, what entrepreneurs and small business owners, coaches, creatives like myself are doing right now, especially with the economy that it is, where people are changing how they do things or what exactly it is that they do. Was there one particular digital marketing trend that stood out to you? Either, again, this is an opportunity for you to remember what we discussed, because we discussed a lot, and then go, oh, yes, I know I said I want to do ... Or if you didn't participate in the training, but you do have access to it because you're a part of the community, it's an opportunity for you to see, oh, I missed this thing that Rashonda did, but I want to do something around a side hustle, or I want to work on a digital marketing trend. I want to know what's trending right now for entrepreneurs. Then go back and watch that session. I always like to tell y'all that startups don't pay up right away. So being able to subsidize your income, being able to create a cash flow cushion if you're looking for ways to work towards sustainability, number one. Or number two, to be quite honest with you, some folks are just trying to survive survival mode. For whatever reason, trying to figure out how to either get that money from your business and or have other streams of income coming through so you're clear enough and you're not in scarcity mode so you can do what you need to do. We talked about that, creating cash flow cushions and then collaborations. Just like the Work With Me list, working towards you reaching more people, new people. I said, one of the things that we talked about was, as far as online marketing is concerned, as far as reach and exposure is concerned, because to be quite honest with you, one of the fundamental things that we all need as business owners is we need visibility. We need to be able to be in front of people who want our stuff. Just creating the stuff, however therapeutic it may be for you, if you actually want to be an entrepreneur that makes money, it's not the only thing you have to do. Outside of producing the things, you need people to see the things and buy the things, right? And I talked to you about the fact that the three common ways that we explore reaching new people is build it, buy it, borrow it. Either building your visibility organically, right? Creating content like this month, we're working on Reels content for social media, creating ways to organically build your visibility and become a brand that is recognizable online. That's the way that takes the most amount of time because it's organic, right? Then for a lot of people, they buy it. They advertise in different spaces through different channels so that they can quickly have access to other people's audiences and get in front of those people. And then last but not least, borrowing it, where literally you can strategically work with people and get access to their lists without necessarily having to pay for that access. Borrowing looks like you being able to collaborate with people who want to work with you on some level. So, for example, interviews, when you go on a podcast and all of a sudden their listeners have access to you. That's borrowing somebody else's tribe, right? For example, outside of podcast interviews, when you are a speaker, and for example, several people, over the years will say, "Oh, LaShonda, I'm doing an event. Can you come and speak to my people?" That's you borrowing their visibility because they're putting you in front of their people, right? Borrowing looks like basically when people go, "Oh my gosh, I love what you do. Can I have permission to share what you do in my resource library? Can I include you in my book? Can I direct people to you if they need ... service?" I've worked with several business organizations and small business owners who want to send people to me who need a website. I'm not paying for that, but it's an opportunity to borrow access to their audience in several different ways. And y'all let me know if, out of curiosity, we need to go deeper into the conversation of borrowing traffic, borrowing access to other people's audiences. But what we did in detail this past weekend was talk about collaborations and who you want to strategically collaborate with the second half of the year, right? I broke that down quite a bit. So this session right here, it gives us an opportunity to get real, for you to go, "Ooh, I need to do 1, 2, or 3. Go back and listen again, or if you didn't even, because, sometimes it may be intimidating. Literally, we had 8 sessions this weekend, right? And each of them are labeled and named because I broke them down. If you didn't have an opportunity to see something, I want to be able to motivate you and pique your curiosity to go back and watch what you want to watch or need to watch, right? Progress and profit looks like making sure you set your ARG, your annual revenue goals. We did and talked about that quite a bit. Your profit plan, we mapped that out. We literally spent, I would say, a good percentage of day number 3 figuring out where that revenue can and should come from, where that revenue is coming from. Have you identified? Those of you who, when I said, who is currently making money, folks were like, me. Okay, if you're currently making money, how much money did you make over the course of the first 5 months? Do you have the actual numbers, or can you assess the average numbers to get able to realistically see and project your YEE, your year-end estimated revenue? Your ARG goals, your annual revenue goals, number 1. Your year-end estimated revenue for the next 7 months, number 2. Are these things that you did or need to do? Working on your actual profit plan. Your marketing strategy. There are a lot of different marketing strategies we discussed, right? On the final day, we worked on several different ways that you could strategically sell. We even had a session on how to make a sale today. How to work on a digital offer and then work towards your Monday morning money. Being proactive, working on your marketing and sales strategies. Did you identify of those things at least one thing that, again, is going to be a priority for you? So what I want us to be able to do is 2 things. Number 1, I want us to be able to do a 10-minute power pause so that while we are together, not 30, but at the very least 10 minutes, you can quietly assess, because I just said a lot, in recapping and rewinding and reminding you of all the things that we discussed, either things that you personally want to do or parts of the reset retreat that you need to go back to and watch again or for the first time, okay? So prepping your plans and ASK, getting your ask in gear, thinking about questions that either you need to ask me here or ask me privately, okay? That 10-minute power pause, number 1. A part of that, you can think about the commit challenge, number 2. I gave y'all a commit tracker that you can download. If you didn't download the tracker, you can go to the replays page and grab it. And on that tracker, you can literally assess, am I doing this thing? I said, you can have several things, The most is the three, right? The top priority tasks, right? Your TP3 for the month. But if you have at least one top priority task for the month, can you track it? Whether you use the commit challenge tracker or something else, can you track it? For some of you, you need to start, and for some of you, you need to keep going. No excuses. Today is not the first of the month. I don't care. You can start and say today's date, and I'm going to, for the next 30 days, focus on fill in the blank. I will complete fill in the blank. I will commit to fill in the blank. And I'm going to do that for 30 days starting today. No excuses. Ooh, girl. Ooh, I missed the first. I don't care. Start today. Start today, right? So being able to either start a 30-day commit challenge today or keep going with respect to one that you've put together based on the things that we've been talking about this month thus far. Some of you are participating in the Real Easy Reels 30-day challenge that I got going on right now, and literally it starts on the day that you started, right? So I said I'm committed to doing 1 to 3 reels every single day, and I've been knocking that out, and I wanted to be able to create a space for you guys to do that too, plus get access to the templates that I created to support you so you don't have to come up with the prompts. You don't have to come up with the hooks. You don't have to come up with the videos. I could just kind of lay some stuff out for you, and then you can put your stuff in it, tweak it, and move forward. And let me know, by the way, how that's going for you. I'd love to know how that's going for you. You can tag me when you post, and or you can just share that progress with me. I'd love to see. I can tell you that one of the things I talked about was being able to, as you go through the 30-day challenge, right? That's one of my personal commits for this month, right? As you go through the challenge, you have an opportunity to, when you're working on your posts, to write, rework, or repurpose. So either write original content, repurpose content you produced before, or rework and adjust content that you get with the help of AI assistants, right? So for the most part, I've been writing original content, but whoo, baby, day 10 was hard for me. I was like, I was just tired, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do for this. So I put in a prompt, and it just was so helpful. So you can mix and match. Like I said, for the majority of the time, I'm like, ooh, I want to do this today. And so I know exactly what I want to say. But I was like, I need you to help me, ChatGPT, because this is the prompt that is for today. I did today's day 11, so I was doing day 10. And I was like, I need 10 ways to da-da-da-da. And it just came out nicely. I got what I needed by the end. So rework AI-assisted content, repurpose what you have, or write original content based on the daily prompts. But Real Easy Reels, that challenge is there if you want to sign up for it, in addition to anything else that you're trying to do. But, of course, your focus matters most, okay? So the 30-day commit challenge, do you need to start it? Do you need to keep going? Think about these things in the next 10 minutes. Check in with me if you have any questions. We're going to do a 10-minute power pause, then wrap up our accountability circle, and I'm going to send you on your way. So let's do that power pause now. Now, I will say this, as y'all know, when we do power pauses, I'm here, but I'm quiet. So if you do have questions for me or insight, you need to send me an email. Definitely feel free to do that as well. All right now, so we just did a mini power pause session. Let's go back into our slides real quick. Okay. So we're just about to wrap up here. Like I said, today, and every time we check in, it's an opportunity for us to work on you staying on task, right? The things that you say that you were going to do, stick to the plan, right? So if you do have either, number one, a question or a comment that you'd like to share, feel free to drop that into the chat. Number one, and or number two, if you're listening on the replay side, you can always email that to me. But I wanted to give you at least 10 minutes to quietly, while we're together, intentionally look at this check-in for this week and be able to identify a few things that you can probably, hopefully, we're able to do in those 10 minutes, or to at least map out and schedule as far as things that you plan to do within the week, within this month, or even today. Okay? So, love the love. I saw that, Levon, you said you love the reels right now, and that's awesome. If you guys have, I'm going to ask you two things. If you have any feedback on the reels that I've posted and giving you, I would love to know, number one. Number two, I'm always trying to find ways to show you how to create the things that work and the designs and styles that are trending. So if you see a TikTok or a reel and you're like, how are people doing that trend? This is pretty cool. Screenshot it or tag me in it, whatever, so that I can take a look, because you know my creative brain, I love that stuff, and I'll see which ones I can integrate into what I'm doing, right, with you guys as part of the 30 and 30 challenge for the mastermind, as well as the Real Easy Reels 30-day challenge just for the overall tribe, those of you who decide to do one, the other, or both. Now, what's the difference, just to quickly recap, between 30 and 30 and the Real Easy Reels? Well, for the mastermind, which we do every month, the second Monday of the month, this month I did a 30 and 30 challenge. That was yesterday. I said, listen, I'm going to give you 10 designs, and my goal is that you can use either 10 of these and then do 3 videos for each one, or maybe you take 5 of these and you do 6 for each one, because what, 5 times 6, that's 30. But any combination of those videos I gave, and map out 30 Reels videos in 30 minutes. That's one micro project for the mastermind, right? The other project was that for anyone who wanted to participate in what I'm doing, you could sign up for Real Easy Reels, and when you sign up, let's say you sign up today, for 30 days, I'm going to send you a easy template with 3 reel designs and a prompt, so that you can every single day work on your content, work on those short form videos, whether you choose to do the design of the day or go back and do another design that you liked or worked really well for you, right? So those two things are actually happening right now. And again, it's real time, meaning that I shouldn't say it's real time. It's happening now, but at the same time, you're not missing anything, because if you were to sign up or do either of those, it would start when you start, if that makes sense, okay? But anyway, definitely, hopefully at this point, you have taken some time to really get clear about those things that you're trying to accomplish today, this week, this month, number one. Definitely connect with each other. I do have a follow train in the Facebook group, firestarters.SistaSense.com, that I posted this past weekend. So, for example, Levon, I think one of your posts was 5 ways to bring joy into June. I love how you're using the videos. Tasha, she's doing a combination of good morning series, because we worked on creating a good morning series, right? You can literally pick one of the designs and then run with it and do one of those every day for 30 days. So she's doing a combination of a Good Morning series, number one, and then she specializes in taxes and accounting. So she's also doing a tax tip series, number two. I was like, ooh, these are interesting. Had me asking questions to her in my mind because of the questions that she was posing in those posts. So I love what you've done so far. So, and like, I post a lot on monetization, productivity, creating digital products, things of that nature. So, of course, you can follow me, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram at SistaSense, okay? So make sure that you join us. Put your link into the follow train. I think Carla was the last person that I saw post in that. And that is inside of our Facebook group over at firestarters.sistasense.com. Okay, so I know, don't be mad at me, Adonia. I know we got a lot going on. Don't be mad at me. I want you to really and truly, the TP3 comes first. Above all the things, your top priority task for this week, for today, for this month, that comes first. Working on your profit and progress plan for the second half of the year, right? That is an ideal priority task too, okay? Identifying at least one thing that you're going to commit to for 30 days, whether you've already started and you need to keep going, or you're going to say, I'm going to start today, okay? Find a way, find an excuse. You cannot do both. Find a way or find an excuse. You cannot do both. So identifying what you're going to commit yourself to over the course of 30 days. And then, of course, working on one of those monetization profit projects that I gave y'all, because y'all got a lot of weekend projects that you could potentially do. Either continue to work on your current profit project or pull from the collection I've given you, No Excuses. We literally worked on putting together products in 30 minutes or less, right? So make that happen. Work on your next steps. Continue to brain dump. Watch the replays that you would like to, the specific breakout sessions that resonate with you. Check in with me either via the chat or after that via email, voice message in the Facebook group. Share your notes, track your progress, send your progress reports to me, and, of course, intentionally keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Even if it's a small thing, keep moving forward. So I thank y'all so much for checking in with me today. Number one, we got a bunch of stuff to do, so I've got other trainings for you going into this week, paid newsletters. Our next session in that is coming up next. Other than that, as always, check in with me if you have questions, want to share what you're up to, and I'll continue to do my best to point you in the right direction. So, all right, y'all, go forth and create your amazing. Until next time, take care. Mwah.